Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Greetings of peace, love, and light. This is a series reflecting on the power of language. One of the anthropologists said that a language is an old growth forest of the mind. Right? It contains an entire worldview, an entire vantage point. And anyone who has learned another language knows that, in fact, it's not only that you learn words, but you learn to think in another way. You learn to perceive in a brand new way. And the sacred language of the Quran, the essential terms of our tradition, are terms that really cannot be translated. There's no one-to-one correlation. But they're words that if you really understand them, they can transform how you understand yourself, your world, and your relationship to the source of existence, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in this series, we're going to have a few short reflections by dearly beloved friends and teachers of myself, reflecting on specific words. The first word that I want to start with, it's always a good place to start, is TAWBA. TAWBA is a word that means turning and returning. It's often translated as repentance, right? But repentance in English often has a kind of negative connotation, right? That we're sinful and that we're thus in need of repenting. And of course, this may be true, but it's important to understand that from the Islamic perspective, that the human being's original nature is pure and true and luminous, and is, in fact, from the divine, right? That I blew into him min ruhi, from my spirit, right? That we have something, right? That the heart of the believer is the throne of the All-Merciful. And so this means that there is no original sin, but there is original light and purity and goodness. And so the whole spiritual path is about turning and returning back to our source. And of course, one of the names of Allah is at-Tawwab, the one who turns back, the one who turns to those who turn to him, really, and to who grants repentance. So the reality is that this is a beautiful word, and it's not for those of us, it's not only for those of us who have major faults, but it's actually that the Prophet ﷺ would say astaghfirullah 70 times a day. And the commentators say that each time he said it, it was for the level below it, that he kept ascending in realization and knowledge of God. So the reality is that astaghfirullah is, seeking God's forgiveness is beautiful, and making tawbah is beautiful. And we should make a practice of starting everything with tawbah, every breath tawbah, turning and returning to our source, to our creator, to our origin, and seeking that divine mercy and that divine love. So may we be among the tawabin, right? The ones who God said he loved in the Quran, those who turn and return. Because the reality is, all human beings falter, and the best of them are those who make tawbah and return. And may we return in a blessed state to our Creator and turn to him and turn away from that which bars us from him, all our fleeting attachments. Ameen. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.